Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have another strategy video for Varia. Now today we're going to be focusing on the Divine Paladin. This is a deck that really works on stretching out the length of the game, trying to outlast the opponent, trying to slow the opponent down. So we're going to take a look at the Divine Paladin here in just a moment. First, I do want to mention our sponsor, Board Game Co. This is a great website to go to buy, sell, and trade games. You can find a great selection of games over there to purchase games from them. They're always looking to buy games from people to add to their collection and to their stock. And then they also will trade games with you. And this is a really cool feature where if you have a Board Game Geek account and you have kept your trade list up to date, then they will link into your Board Game Geek account and see what you have for trade, what you want in trade, and they'll compare that to their stock, and then they'll build a list on the website of showing what they'll take from you, what they can give to you, and then you can start linking up the trade right there just like that. It's a really cool feature. I highly recommend you go and check it out. If you do go check them out, click on the link in the description below, and that will let them know that I sent you over there. All right, without anything else, we're going to get down to the table and check out the Divine Paladin for Varia. The Divine Paladin is going to thrive by drawing the fight out as long as possible in order to outlast their opponent. A player using the Divine Paladin should be wary of faster, more aggressive decks and make every effort to slow down their opponent's progress. Fighting against the Paladin is like gambling in a casino. The longer the game goes, the more likely the house will win because they have better odds built in. The Divine Paladin's improved ability is a good example of this. When the Paladin uses improved, every time they roll during that action, they roll again and then take the higher result. Improved can be found on cards like Guided Strike, Faithsworn Baton, and Angelic Incarnation. There are 2 Devout Aegis cards in the deck. Its power is improved by the attribute requirements of the cards in the Divine Paladin's discard pile. There are 2 Thy Will Be Done cards in the deck, which have a attribute requirement of 6, and there's 1 Angelic Incarnation card in the deck, which has an attribute requirement of 7. If the Divine Paladin can get one of these cards into the discard pile early in the game, Devout Aegis can be an incredibly powerful blocking card for them from that point forward. The improved ability can make cards that seem undermatched against an opponent actually perform well. A 3/3 card with improved will handle itself nicely against an opponent's 4/4 card or even 5/5. When taking the game long, it's likely the Divine Paladin may end up with a stack of fatigue. Plan for this by holding on to at least 1 healing hammer, which gives the Paladin a 25% chance of removing a stack of their choice from themselves. Another threat when taking the game long is the player's opponents will naturally have the opportunity and time to set off their massive game-ending attacks. Thy Will Be Done is an excellent counter for this and can transform an opponent's devastating attack against them into a devastating and demoralizing blow to the actual player's psyche by nullifying a player's world-ending attack into practically nothing. As an active player, create this 4-moment turn of Guided Strike, Arms of the Goddess, and Guided Strike. This is an incredibly strong turn. A 3/3 improved attack from Guided Strike, followed by a 4/2 attack and 2 points of heal, and then another 4/2 attack with 2 more points of heal, and then ending with yet another 3/3 improved attack. However, it is worth noting that there is a pretty significant flaw with this string of cards, as it can be derailed relatively easily if the Divine Paladin's opponent disengages. Keep this in mind when setting up this combo. Perhaps hold on to it till near the end of the opponent's deck when it's more likely they've burned through all their disengaging cards. Or maybe try to convince your opponent to play those disengagement cards quickly through a series of semi-aggressive melee attacks over the course of multiple rounds near the beginning and mid points in the game. And finally, Here's an advanced combo for a reactive player when facing a big attack. Combine Thy Will Be Done with Divine Intervention and Slay the Wicked. Each of these has a start of moment effect, which means the Divine Paladin will get to choose the order in which they are resolved. I'm going to split them up like this just so we can see a little easier what's going on here, but keep in mind this is a combination. First, resolve Thy Will Be Done. This turns the active player's action into a copy of your own. Next, trigger Divine Intervention, which provides the Divine Paladin with 3 stacks of Eyes of the Goddess. This now makes the Divine Paladin's actions improved. Also, the Divine Paladin now treats their opponent's discarded cards as if they are demonic. Keep in mind, Eyes of the Goddess is a stack and not actually part of the action. This means the active player is not gaining any of the benefits from it. Finally, trigger Slay the Wicked, which will ensure the Divine Paladin is engaged with the opponent, and more importantly, since Eyes of the Goddess has the Divine Paladin viewing the active player's discard pile as demonic, Slay the Wicked gets +3/+3. What you've now created is a 6/6 attack with 2d6 and with improved. Meanwhile, the opponent is simply attacking with a 3/3 attack with 2d6. So if you use this against one of their heavy attacks, that likely should be much less significant than what they were coming at you with originally. So there you go. I hope those are some strategy tips that you will find helpful when playing as the Divine Paladin for Varia. Be sure to check out some future videos coming out soon. Every other video for a while now is going to be one of the classes in Varia. Can't remember which one's coming up next, but we've got 5 more to go. So keep checking back for those videos. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.